shirt that was a little cheaper than every other shirt.
And we're live.
Well, good evening, everybody. And Jimmy Palumbo walking out of the tunnel in Game 7 here at 69. A Willis Reed here at Shea. If you're thinking that your computer screen is distorted and I look a little thinner, that's because last podcast I weighed 187, and this podcast I weigh in at 172. I feel like that Rocky movie when the announcer says, "Look at Palumbo, he looks like a middleweight."
Yeah.
We're going to get into detail about my wonderful birthday week here at Shea. But until then, behind the glass, your friend of mine wearing another atrocious Knick hat, Dave Sturcio. Dave, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, man. One more day. We got one more day to go. And then the old 8:30 p.m. / 9 p.m. tip-off happens, and we'll be all going to bed at 11:30, 12 o'clock with happiness or sadness for the next week.
And your kids will be shark shit on Wednesday and Thursday because you're keeping them up.
I'm hanging it over them. Be good, and maybe you'll stay up for the first thing. But I told Stella, I said, look, you're only staying up for the whole game when and if there's a clinching scenario, right? Like you're going to win it all or lose it all.
You can always run in and wake her up, but that's
I would never.
First of all, are you wearing? Is that a guinea tee you're wearing?
No, it's just a cutoff. It's just a Fight Factory cutoff. I had no time. I just grabbed whatever I could. Listen, I
lose 15 pounds and you look like a biker on a bad movie on Stars. Okay. Complete jerk off. All right.
Well, I'm getting into character for Beer League, the series.
There you go. You got time. That's
funny.
You might be the aging.
It's so funny. I told somebody at the gym today, I'm like, I got to shoot in 2 weeks. I got to start really dialing it up. And I'm like, now I got a little time. So we'll see.
Well, we'll talk. Actually, we can't talk about it right now. But
another conversation another day. Yeah.
Another day. But this is show number 271. And of course, that just rolls off the tongue. Will Hernandez, which nobody knows. Also, Stacey Dillard, another shitty defensive end for the Giants. Mark Tuinei, am I getting that right?
Tuinei, God rest his soul. He passed away a long time ago.
Yes, indeed. Tony Baselli, I remember that name.
Sons of Sturcio.
And that's funny.
He's in the bike. Tyson's hitting threes all day.
Tyson, listen, if you leave, I don't know, he should be a regular on the show. Also,
he almost was. I was like, me and Tyson will take over if you die.
If the show would, only thing is, Dave, you want your name on it, but we have to call it the Tysons and the Hogans. I gotta put in my contract that if I should pass away into the great softball field in the sky, the show has to be called the Tysons and the Hogans.
Great. I've been putting in work for 270 episodes, and I don't get my name on the show.
Featuring Dave Sturcio, or maybe it should be Dave Sturcio presents the Tysons and the Hogans.
There you go. That works.
Also, Alex Karras, who Hall of Famer, also a football player. Also, he was the dad on Webster, and that's a little near and dear to my heart because my roommate, Henry Pollack, was the secretary on that show, and I got to meet some of those people when I lived in Los Angeles. Now,
I hate to cut you off, but you definitely said that on episode 171. 110%. I remember you're like the dad from Webster. I'm like, oh, dude, that rang a bell. So now we're starting to reciprocate stories.
Anyway, well, 371 will do the same thing. Also, you got Bill Pickell, and who is he? He was a Rutgers guy, defensive end as well. Played for a pretty long time, like 12, 13 years in the NFL. Raiders and the Jets. Of course, he averaged like 12 sacks a year for like 4 years in a row. People forget that. He was a good player. It was like before we were Division I, but it was before, it was back in the day. And, he graduated, I think, 83 when I started. Fred Dean. And then, of course, you got the Yankees. Your friend and mine, Mr. Ian Hamilton. I couldn't stand him. He was a guy I thought I could hit. Me and Artie Lang used to sit and go, and I said, Art, if you for $1 million, if you got up at Yankee Stadium right now against Ian Hamilton, he was like, I would definitely foul a bunch off. I think I could get him. We used to laugh at all that stuff. And also,
those conversations are great. It's like, you take a punch from Tyson, and it's like, sure. But then, like, and you think of reality, like, no, I probably I probably die.
Yeah. And of course, 1971, my favorite album of all time, 1971, the Allman Brothers live at the Fillmore East, which is the greatest live album of all time. If you go to any Rolling Stone, anything like that, it's a great album. It's my favorite album, my Desert Island Disc.
That's a bold statement.
That's it. Well, go check out the album. It's Dwayne Allman
and
Diggy
Betts. The Allman Brothers, but all right.
You dig it up to you. Well, you'll talk to your father about that shit. But of course, you mentioned getting hit by Tyson and stuff like that. I think it was last year, maybe, we sat around the Jersey Shore, me and my brother, my cousin John, and we called the reveal. Like, what sport? Like, if I put a football uniform on you right now, right, and you were on the sidelines in full, like, people in the stands would be like, you're just like another guy on the team. You're pretty big, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But at what point, if you had to take the field, would someone go like, hey, what's going on? I was like, how long would the reveal? So my cousin John was like, you know what? I was at Yankee Stadium, and if I was like at Cincinnati Reds or something, and I put a first baseman's uniform on, I played first in the beginning, throwing grounders. No one would really know. And then we were going through how quickly. So somebody said, like the Masters golf at the tee off. Yeah, now I'm teeing off, right? Like, because my cousin, we were like, I like if it looked pretty good in a golf t-shirt. No one would know. So that would be a reveal right away. And then we went on for like an hour. We went through every sport. My brother said, what if you were a defensive back in the NFL? He's lining up against, some stud guy. You're like, what?
That's so funny that you mentioned something like that, because my father, like, he'll say something silly. Like, I told him, I said, hey, Miles, he's taking a like to playing first base because it's action every time, right? They got to throw the ball to Miles, right?
Right.
And my dad just naturally, and you'll love this, he naturally goes, well, now you got to get him another glove. Like, he's 4 years old. What are we talking about here?
Trying to get him an edge.
Yeah, we got to get him a first baseman's mitt. I'm like, Jesus Christ, no.
But finally, my brother came up with the ultimate one, and it was if you got into a professional boxing match, you tap the gloves, and then boom, that'll do it. Anyway, I love those. Another great one was my buddy Mike Ruane said, like, if I batted all year for the Yankees, what would my average be? And so he goes, he thinks he can get a hit. Well, so now remember, we're at it. These conversations are great when you're at a bar. So I went, because he said, I think I'd bat like 125. And we went, me and my cousin went 120. My cousin John goes, you would bat 005, right? And then
maybe. And that's being generous.
And then we went, I was like, Mike, I don't know if he'd make contact. Like, so he's like, nah, I definitely would. He goes, I would jump on somebody. Like,
you can't, you know what it is? You can't have these conversations with like Chris Gucci, because he would be like, oh, dude, 260, 274. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So anyway, listen, when you're drinking and your buddies, and especially when there's a game, Yankees are down 8-1 on the TV, and you're just looking for anything.
And that's when the announcers start talking about other things other than the game itself.
That's like when you're down the Jersey Shore and everybody's got singles on them. You're like, if the Yankees are down like 8-1 in the seventh, you're like, tying run to the plate, tying run on double deck. It's like
dollar.
You're trying to. All you did one day, my buddy Tommy was like, look, we're a bunch of losers. We're just trying some way to make this game interesting. And then it was. So next pitch to strike. You ever do that?
Yeah, right. DraftKings has that now. It's like,
oh my God, so stupid.
That's how you lose money real quick.
Oh, real fan. Anyway, that kind of shit just always makes me laugh. And my brother, of course, was completely always busting my balls and stuff like that. But sometimes my brother gets tough. Like, I could probably hang in there a little bit. I'm like, you're 65 years old. You can't hang in this shit. Anyway. Of course, baseball card segment here on the Jimmy Palumbo Show, the Lazarus Show, the Down Goes Frazier Show. I have a guy. I remember this guy, though. I don't know if you will. Jeff Brantley. You remember him?
Sure. Yep.
You know what? He was part of that God Squad thing. You remember that? The four guys, like they did Bible study in the hotel room.
I don't remember that at all.
It was him and Trevecki. And I don't know why. I think they did like a feature on 60
Was that frowned upon?
Well, listen,
At the time, I guess.
Wasn't exactly hanging out with Ricky Henderson and stuff. But Jeff Brentley was a right-hander, a closer, 14 years in the bigs. He pitched from 88 to 2001. He was 43 and 46 with a 3.39 ERA, so he'd be making about $12 million a year. 172 saves, 860 innings pitched. He played with the Giants, Cincy, St. Louis, Philly, and Texas. His best year was 1996. 44 saves, 2.41.
44
ERA.
saves.
That's a lot.
That is
Led
a
the
lot.
league. Yeah.
In 96?
Yeah, that was back in the day when and Torrey was guilty of this.
Well,
Once they
we had Wetland in 96 closing our games.
But also relief pitchers are mid-90s, like especially the middle relief guys. When Torrey used to be like, I'm riding him till he can't. It almost was like, I'm going to ride him till he can't play baseball anymore. Some of those pitchers that Torrey used, not the ones we remember, those guys that they pitched so many innings, like shot.
You know what clip I saw yesterday? And by the way, a little nugget there by Tyson. He played at Mississippi State with Will Clark and Rafael Palmeiro. I did not do steroids. Yeah.
Tyson Hogan.
Palmeiro's lying through his teeth.
Tyson Hogan, I was getting there. He also was
he spoiled it.
He lost in the World Series with the Giants at Oakland. He was a $1 to $2 million guy, Mississippi State, and he played with Will Clark, Rafael Palmeiro. You know what? You forgot about Thigpen. You must remember Thigpen here at Chase. So Tyson, although you're that's why you're an associate producer, not an executive producer.
That name does not sit well with me. I remember I went against my good friend. I haven't talked to my boy Anthony Circa in forever, but I went against him in the finals of fantasy football. And I remember, like, he lost his quarterback in the semis, and I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm done. Like, I'm going to win. This is great.
Oh, and then
he signs Tyler Thigpen to play one game.
He didn't have to do
anything. He didn't have to do shit. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, did I just lose to Tyler Thigpen? I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, that's a shitty name to lose to. He also, he did Baseball Tonight with ESPN for a while and some of that Sunday Night Baseball. But he's also, for years now, well over 20 years, been the voice of the Cincinnati Reds. And again, he was part of the God Squad with Scott Garrett's, Atlee Hammaker, and Dave Dravecki. And he was known as the Cowboy. So that is it. Jeff,
that's another thing. You mentioned Torrey before, and Joe Torre, and the clip came up. I don't know why. Sometimes I follow all these nostalgic baseball things. Maybe the date passed, but the Mike Mussina, like, stay in there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Stay in there. And I was like, oh, hey, it still hits. So I'm like, oh, it's good, man.
That's such a weird thing because you can get a lot of managers. If you noticed over the years.
Torrey was like, all right,
but that's because it was Moose. But have you seen when, I think it was Girardi, when the guy pitched on the Yankees kind of flipped him the ball and walked away like he didn't put it. Do you remember that?
Girardi
and Girardi turned back, and then Girardi walked back and went right into the tunnel. Like, you could tell.
Oh, Daddy's coming for you.
I remember I did a deep dive on that when it happened. I was looking online and stuff. Supposedly, like, that's one of those rituals that is like when the manager comes out to take you out.
Yeah, you gotta eat it.
You gotta hand on the ball. You can be disappointed. You can have a look of frustration. But most times it's frustration because you pitch like shit, or you wanted to go one more batter or stuff like that. But you have to deliver the ball. Otherwise, it's one of those. It's like perjury in courts. The system doesn't work. Can you imagine if guys really stammer on the mound? Like Gucci would never come out of the game. It'd be a 20-minute delay right there.
Remember even Shoop from Major League, where he's like, he couldn't believe he couldn't get that Punch and Judy hitter out, and they took him off the. He took him off the mound.
I know. So
took me so many years to figure out what the hell a Punch and Judy
that was a cool. He just said, "Stay back." I was like, Jordan was like, "All right." And of course he got the next guy. But if the guy had like a 3-run home,
I was just gonna say, how does, like, if that doesn't play out the way it does, like, is that the
man.
worst, like, manager blunder of all time, listening to a pitcher, regardless if it was Moose, right? Like, because Moose is a legend, right? And at the time he's at the back end of his career, and he does that. And I'm like,
the only thing I think that saved him is he caught him like Torrey did the one hop up, and
yeah, he was on like the top step.
Yeah,
he
caught
him. But his demeanor, though, was like, stay there. I was like, ooh, boy, you are yelling at a legend. Okay.
And of course, a little bit of sad news. We are definitely officially mired. We are mired.
Now Jimmy's gonna have some medical bills for you guys to chip
yes,
into.
which those bills, just stack them on top of everything else.
I was gonna say, they come in their paperweights to me now at this point. I'm like, all right, I'll get to it. Yeah, I got you.
Now, all I do is call them up and say, I owe how much? Okay. And what do I owe now? What's my previous balance? Okay.
Well,
and the lady goes, well, you have a payment plan. Goes, I know. Can you just add that to that? And then they're like, well, it's gonna go up another $11.
You had to hear. You had to hear. I told Bonus Mom Barry last week. I was like, yeah, every time I go to the Medi Merge, they ask me. They're like, oh, you have a big balance, sir. You have to pay like today a little bit of it. And I'm like, all right, put $50 to it. There's copay, blah 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 blah. And I told her that. She's like, you don't have to pay them shit. They're strong arming you. Dude, never pay them again. And I'm like, well, they're not gonna see me if I don't pay. You're like, they have to. And I'm like, well, maybe I don't know the loopholes, but like, she got bent.
Well, you know what happened?
I was giving them money.
Same thing happened to me, but I was bringing Natalie, and there's nothing worse. You're in a thing, you got your little daughter, she's not feeling well. And sir, before you enter here, you have a balance, and then you're like, Jesus. I felt like,
sir, it seems like you're broke. Are you poor? And you're just like, I'm in front of my kid, bro.
I felt like it was a Joe Pesci moment. Like, I amuse you. Like, you think I'm
funny how?
Funny how? Guy wants a seven. Tells me I owe him $7,000. So we are mired at Carl Banks at 58. But I got to give a big shout out to Johnny Mashaw J. Bird, my cousin John, of course. By the way, he's shooting like in the low 80s now in golf. Jesus. And also, I can't even get it. I'm shooting in the low 110s.
My brother booked tee time for when we were in Aruba together this coming summer for him and his brother-in-law. And he sends me the reservation. He's like, it's for two. So he knows I want to go. He's like, just come for the views.
Oh my God. You're not. No. You're not.
I'm not golfing. There's no way to ruin my whole fucking vacation.
But you're not walking. You're not walking around.
No, I'll be driving the cart with the beer in my hand.
Dude, no, don't do that.
Why? It's Aruba.
Stay at the hotel.
I'm telling you, it's like 7 a.m, so it's not like it's just like get up and
sleep, dude. You're gonna be the guy
I'm on vacation, bro.
Can't even strike the ball, and you have to walk around the cart. Oh, yeah. Come on. First of all, it's going to be 4,000. Anyway,
it's Aruba.
I will take it between. When are you go? When are you going here?
July. I'm leaving on my father's birthday on July 19th. Okay.
Well, God knows what we're going to do in our podcast that week, but we will.
Shit. Tyson, be ready, buddy. Mark it down. I'll set it up for you. Just got to mark it down.
I have to do it myself. Good evening, everybody. But yes, I have plenty of time to get you to not golf with them.
I'm not golfing. I'm just going.
No, you can't go to the course. You're not playing.
It looks like there's a sunrise. It's going to be nice. I'm going to drink.
Oh my God! You want a side order of blank with that?
We'll get into that in a second.
And also, yes. Shout out to Greg Alperin, my buddy, who's helped us get beer league last licks off the ground at the very beginning.
He's not happy. We didn't give him any credit on the clip that I sent out. He commented. He's like, no credit to the guy that produced the show.
That was Anthony Mastromel.
That's Mastromel. I'm sorry. Yeah, wrong.
Anthony, my friend Anthony being a jerk off. I tell you, no matter what you do in showbiz, everybody was like, what about me? What about me?
Mm-hmm.
I got you lunch that day.
I'm still here.
Yeah. Anthony was a key part. So did you see what I wrote back?
No.
Yeah, have you done anything for Beer League Last Licks? And he's going to claim that he gave me the rights. No, Anthony's all right. He's I'm going to try to get him to help us out, though. Actually, we could use his help, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But he's busting my balls. So that is it. And of course, this whole time, my whole life, and last week, while I was, I can't even say under the weather, I was chasing miracles. That's right. ChasingMiracles.com. Now, the difference is Chasing Miracles, stem cell patches, shit your body needs. Again, shit your body needs. I was doing the exact opposite. I was shitting out what my body didn't need.
Yeah.
So go to ChasingMiracles.com. Check out the stem cell patches. Donna and Tommy will take care of you. They got all kinds of good stuff. I started wearing them after like day 3. I was like, I got to try something. Well, let's discuss. All right, I'm going to try to have some fun with this. So everybody knows I wasn't feeling great started Monday night into Tuesday. But I said, you know what, I'll do the podcast. I think I could do it. But we only did about 40 minutes last week.
Yeah, it was like 45. When you stopped talking early, I'm like, oof.
And I didn't prep right. I just didn't do anything right. And I wanted to do it because the Knicks, by the way, if the Knicks lost, that show wasn't happening. So you know what? We might have missed the whole week, and thank God we got it in.
Yeah.
But listen, I got done with the podcast, and I'm not lying. I went like right to my bed, and I like slept for an hour, and then like every half hour, I got up to go to the bathroom. My bed is about 6 feet from the master bath. And at first I had plenty of time to get the field goal unit on. And then after about 4 hours, I was the QB that needed to spike the ball. I was running out of time. And then after a while, they are not gonna get it off.
Oh my!
And then I started to like freak out, and it just went on all day Tuesday night into Wednesday, and all day Wednesday. But I didn't, no vomiting, just my cup runneth over, and I'm like, what is going on here? I hadn't eaten anything now since Monday. We're already mid Wednesday, and then this went on all day Wednesday into Wednesday night. But then around 3:00 in the morning, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, I started to get massive pains. And I'm like, and you think it could be a heart attack right away. You're like, I was like, what the So I woke up 6:00 in the morning. I started texting Stephanie, and I knew my sister was, it was too early. I started texting. I said, hey, if you get this, hey, call me. I texted Natalie. Nobody was calling me back. And I knew that. What are you going to do? How are you going to get me to the hospital?
I drove up. What do you mean, how? I'm a car?
I know, but it was like,
well, if you were shitting yourself, I would have put you in the bed of my truck.
No, you know what? I would have stuck my ass over the edge and blasted the people behind us. So and then I got sick. Some vomiting happened. I was like, hey, something is way wrong here.
Yeah.
And so she came, and I got ready to go, but I was like stumbling around. I was being stunad a little bit. I'm like, what the fuck? And I had actually sit on the couch. I was like, all right, I need 10 minutes just to like, what are we doing? We're going to the hospital. All right. I get in the car, and she was cool. She goes, Jimmy, if you have an accident, and she brought over Depends.
Sponsored by Depends.
And I do a Depends joke on my set for
Karma.
Since the first joke I ever did. And let me tell you something. At first I was like, oh my God, it's so
embarrassing. Just let it rip?
No, I didn't let it rip. You know what it is? You fight it. Like I looked like one of those bad warrior movies from 67 AD. Those guys in the movies, guys with the beards on, like a Game of Thrones. And I was able to get to the hospital. Then, of course, you got to wait in the waiting room. Meanwhile, at every level, I was like, I could shit at any moment. I don't have the 11 seconds to get everybody out there. I didn't get out of bounds at the clock.
He had no timeouts left.
The referee was going like this. It was like, so finally of course, every nurse we dealt with, gorgeous. And
of course, that always happens.
Right. So I'm like, good God. I finally get in, they get me inside, and now they're asking me questions, and I'm laying in the bed, and I'm like, I'm trying to answer questions, but meanwhile, my whole thing was like, guys, the bathroom is 27 feet away. I had trouble. In other words, I was like a kicker where the coach is like, hey, how far can you kick it? The best I can do is 45 yards. Well, we're 61 yards out. I give it a well.
You'll be fine.
I'll be fine. And so next thing you know, they're hanging IVs and all that, and Zofran for nauseous and all that stuff. And they're asking me questions. Were you traveling? Have you been to Africa? I'm like, I was like,
were you on that cruise ship?
I say the closest I've been to Africa is I watched the Knicks game on Monday night. Like,
oh fuck!
It's how he's going. I was like, Africa, what are you talking about?
Holy shit!
Jesus
Christ. Just to divert that, by the way, I told my boy who records at my show, at my studio, I said, hey man, he's like, hey, is next week open? I said, yeah. And I said, I gotta light you up better, dude. He goes, why? I was like, because you're as black as Obafemi, and they're like a Nigerian. He is Nigerian. I said, I gotta light you up. I'm seeing the clips you're putting out there. I was like, I can't see you, bro. Like I have to light you up. So that's fucking.
That's what I meant by that. But yes. I just, and so then they finally got. But of course, I looked gray, and Steph was like, you look like I looked like I was dying. And the IV, of course, I think pretty much IV helps temporarily probably every person in the world. I think NFL players do it at the half.
Yeah.
And I started to come around, but then the doctor they did blood work and there was nothing in the blood. They couldn't find anything. And then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, we're going to do a CAT scan. I'm like, CAT scan? Like, and I don't get nervous over tests. I don't know why I don't, for some reason. I get nervous. Like if you're going for a test, I'm like, I hope my boy Dave's all right.
That's why
I'm like, I go through it,
You're talking to a guy who never took a COVID test. Just because I'm scared. I was like, no, I'm not doing that shit.
So I get down in the room. And it's like this donut thing. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I be honest with you, I said, hey, like, this is how it starts. Like, you go in, and then you go, well, and
the narrator says, and Jimmy never walked out of that.
Exactly
So it was all over.
I know I'm exaggerating, but number one, I hadn't eaten in 4 days. I was shitting myself beyond belief. Shitting myself in bed, soiling sheets like I'm in a nursing home. And all of a sudden I'm going in for a CAT scan. And of course I'm like, I don't know, pancreatic. This is how you get like bad news here now.
Well, that honestly, man, that's kind of where I was going with it. Like with my head, I'm like, man, I like Jimmy. When you say to me in text, like I'm in bad shape. Like it's not like you to say that. Usually you're like, I'll be fine. I'm going to have some beers.
No.
Like this, you're like, I'm banged up. And I'm like, fuck, like, who's going to pay me to do his social media?
I was too tired. I was too tired to even like talk to you about it. I was like,
I know.
Matter of fact, here's another shitty thing, literally. Tuesday was my birthday. And you know what happens on social media when you have a birthday now?
Everybody on their son says hello.
I got probably, I'm not going to lie, probably on texts to my phone, 500 texts. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, which is great.
Mr. Popular.
But dude, I couldn't even, I was like, copy and paste. Usually I go, thanks, bro, go Knicks, you suck. Dude, I was just like generic. I was like, I have to deal with this. I figured I was going to get better.
Do some people kind of feel it out like you good? Just based off your generic response?
No, I didn't, because nobody knew I was, first I was
I know, but I'm saying if you come back, you're like, thank you.
Yeah, it was
they're like, what? What was it?
It was anyway. So next thing you know, I'm going through the CAT scan. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm thinking to myself, like this is, and I got a little nervous. Of course, the CAT scan came out fine. Matter of fact, we looked, it was like no diverticulitis, no swelling of the
I went there too
intestines,
in my head.
no colitis, which I said, so I'm looking at the doctor and finally he's like, listen, your vitals are okay. He goes, you're not even showing that much dehydration. Now I got you on the IV. You should be all right. He's like, listen, go home, take the Imodium. And it's like, okay. Next thing you know, I'm home. And by this point, I got Gatorade, Pedialyte. I got a whole package of 40 diapers. And we get home at 6 o'clock. And 6, 7 o'clock, whatever the hell it was. And next thing you know, every 15 minutes, I'm going to the bathroom. There was nothing in me, but I'm thinking, does the IV go through? And I couldn't.
Like anything else, I guess.
And I started to go through Depends. I'm looking at this, and I'm like, oh my God. And everything was water. And then same thing, late Thursday night, I started to get these like weird pains going across. And I'm like, I called up my sister, and next thing you know, they're both over here. And my sister took me there. And now my sister, now I had Charles Oakley in the emergency room with me now. Okay. She was like, the nurse comes in. No, what is he? No, he's been shitting since. She was like LT. She was in LA. The lady was like, well, sometimes. No. I've never seen anybody go to the bathroom every 15 minutes for 5 days. We've all had the 24-hour thing, 48 hours. It's Friday.
So you're in the hospital by yourself at one point, right? Like doing your own thing, like whatever. And then your sister's in there, and the doctor walks in, and they're like, "Oh no!" And they're like,
"Oh yeah, there you go." It was like,
fuck. Like they're like, "Oh shit!" Like they know exactly what's about to, like, the storm that's coming.
And then the lady. So then the guy goes, "We're gonna." He looks at me, and the doctor goes, "We're gonna really look at that CAT scan again." Now I'm like, "Oh,
bro,
that's like after further review,
right?
A reversal." First down,
Jimmy did not get both intestines inbounds.
Did I make a football bowel movement move with the ball in my head? Right.
Yeah.
So again,
what a mess.
This guy says, everything's coming out okay. I was like, yeah, but I'm shitting while I'm here. I'm still shitting.
I'm talking to you and simultaneously shitting.
So then the guy's like, look, that's actually a different doctor now. He goes, that's a good thing. Only way you're going to get this, it's probably he didn't say norovirus. He said some other word. It's in that family. He's like, it's better that you're getting it out. So
I was gonna say you're running.
He's like, no Imodium. I said, wait a minute. Guy yesterday, now you start becoming He goes, no, just, you got to get it out. Try to drink as much liquid as you can. So now my sister's on the phone with our family friend, Dr. Paula. And Paula's like, you got to take little sips, because if you gulp it, that can make you nauseous. And try to take ice cubes, and so because it melts in your mouth, which also
not in your hands.
Yeah, right. Everybody's giving me different advice, and it's going.
And if you go on WebMD, they're like, you died already. What do you?
That's exactly.
You're
exactly right.
So, by the way, it's like what?
So I stepped on the scale, and I was like 177, and I'm like, that's 10 pounds. What the? So I get my doctor on the phone. He's like, I finally get my doctor, because I didn't deal with him because I was dealing with the doctors at the hospital.
Right.
He's like, Jimmy, what's going on? I explained to him everything. He's like, all right. He's like, well, you could try this, you could try that. Finally, he's like, listen, here's what I want you to do. Get the Pedialyte, try to get as much liquids in you as you can. He goes, and all of a sudden he says, I want you to try Pepto-Bismol. Of course, I say Pepto-Bismol. So you're saying try something that was available in 1954 after I spent 2 trips to the emergency room?
Tylenol.
What? I felt like saying, have you tried like bloodletting at this point? So I'm like, so he goes, it does a couple of things. It's good for diarrhea. It's got a little something that helps with bacteria. So next thing you know, I'm drinking Pepto-Bismol like I'm doing shots at Leggett's in 1987. So I'm like, so I did that, and it seemed to help a little bit, but I got home at 6:00 on Friday. And between 6:00 and 6:45, I shit 8 times. I'm like, so my sister is like, you're going again? You're going again? And I'm like,
what are you left?
I was at the point where you want to come in and look at it and see what it is.
And again, not to get, I don't even know why we're still talking about this, but it's like, is it hardening up at all? No, so you're still just all right.
It looked like the tsunami in 2011. There was nothing going on. It was just flow, river, flow. Oh, Jesus my God. So, so then, I did the Pepto-Bismol, and I able to get a little sleep. Saturday afternoon, I had like chicken broth with like rice. I was like, okay, now I'm in one of those 1-800 commercials with the kids laying on the side with the extended stomachs. I'm like, this is over. I'm gonna die here. And starting to feel a little better Saturday night. But of course, when I get dehydrated, I get the gout. And I was like, that gout is coming. I know it. I woke up Sunday morning at 6 a.m. and I had asked the doctor, if I get the gout, can I take this not muscle relaxer, this anti-inflammatory thing? He's like, yeah, it'll work, but sometimes it affects your stomach. I woke up at 6 a.m. My toe looked like Jalen Brunson. Okay. It was on fire. El Fuego. I went right to the medicine cabinet. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I've been shitting since Monday.
What's the worst that can happen at this point?
I popped it in, and I actually fell asleep for 2 hours, which was a miracle. And it worked. The damn pill worked. First one, bang, first down. And then I woke up. My sister's like, you all right? You want to have some more Gatorade? I said, no, I have to eat now. She's like, well, wait a minute. I'm not so sure. I'm like, I've been shitting. There's no, in other words, we are losing. It's 38-0. Put the kid in behind center. It's
like
over.
you don't even like. I was gonna when you popped on today. I was like, what the fuck?
And then
that's insane. Even in the video that I did for you, I was like, he's looking a little trimmer than normal. But this is another Ethiopian type
since
shit,
that video. I lost 15. So then I made like 2 eggs on dry toast. And you know what? I ate it and I went down. I'm like, okay. And they're like, well, you might get it. I'm like, I don't care what. There's nothing worse than not being able to hold your stuff in, And that was okay. And then after a while, I had more rice and broth. And then I said, you know what? I'm making pastina, which is a little bit of sauce.
Love that
little bit. And I had some frozen meatballs. I chopped them up a little bit. I had like a bowl of pastina. And of course, everyone's like, you got to watch. I'm like, I need to eat. I could die. This is stupid. And after that, I got a little more. I started to come around, and then I did the same thing.
What was his final meal? Pepto-Bismol, actually.
Yeah, Pepto-Bismol. You know what? Pepto-Bismol pitched the last 3 innings of overtime.
Listen.
Extra inning. So then I started to eat. I started to feel better. And then I stepped on the scale, and it said 172.2. And I was like, this is crazy. And then all day yesterday, I felt better. So all day, most of the day Sunday, I came around. All day yesterday, I came around. However, my sister wanted to go look for a Knicks hat because she's going away this weekend. And I was trying to tell her there's a Burlington coat. She just wanted to buy a cheap one. So I said, you know what? Maybe it's good I get out of the house a little bit. I said, I haven't gone in a while. I think, let me see if I can pitch an inning. I felt like Stanton. Let me see if I can, run in the outfield a little bit. So I had the craziest 2.5-hour trip with my sister, who is she's a very good shopper. She's not frugal, but she likes to get a bang for her buck.
Sure.
We go to Burlington, nothing there. Okay. And she's asking like the manager, like, did you not order them on time? Did you not realize the Knicks? Like, she's getting into detail. So then we head down, we try, she goes into CVS. And when my sister goes into CVS, it's like Montana with 2 minutes to play with timeouts.
CVS looking for a hat?
No, she went into also to get some things, but she's got the CVS. She once won Customer of the Year at CVS for using the savings plan.
It's my first job, by the way.
Okay, so
CVS, the worst fucking job ever.
I go into ShopRite to buy. I said, I'm gonna buy. I need food, like regular food, And so we go out. So next thing you know, she's like, I said, well, man, there's a Dick's Sporting Goods. She's like, I don't really like to shop in Dick's. I said, well, you're going away. What are you gonna do? So we drive down, we go into another Burlington. She runs out. I park the car in front. They don't have anything. Then we run into a Marshall's. Okay. She runs in there. She's like, she shows me one, but it's an ugly hat that you would wear. And I'm like, no, I'm not wearing that. You wear those anyway. So
first of all, this is I've never wore a tan hat in my life. So this is out of the, and you know what? Like I said, you want to give me shit? You can give my daughter shit. Daddy, get this one. I like this one. Okay.
All right. Well, I forgot that's a Stella. Yeah, well, then write Stella on the call.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Next week, if you ever do the show with that hat, I want to see Dave Sturt show with Stella's hat. That's your official new name.
All right.
So next thing you know, we end up in Dick's Sporting Goods. Now, bringing my sister to Dick's Sporting Goods is because that is a retail place. You don't get deals. If I was a millionaire, I'd shop at Dick's all the time. They got great stuff in there.
Sure.
But there's nothing in there for under $70. Okay, that's the most expensive place on the planet. We start going, but the Knicks hats they had were like, and some of them said NBA Finals, and I'm like, no, you don't buy a shirt that you made the finals. It's got to say World Champions.
Well, I'll tell you right now, they don't win. I'm getting those Eastern Conference Finals.
No, you can't.
What if it never happens again? Stop. I'm going to do.
No.
There's other people that went out and got them already, and I was like, oh, sacrilege. Don't want to do it. I did it for the Rangers in 2014 when they won the Eastern Conference. In 2014, I was like, yo, I'm getting all this. It's been so long. And then they lost. And I'm like, I'll never do that again.
Yeah,
like, I'm
what? See, no.
I'll just wait now.
They lost because you bought the Eastern
Well,
Conference.
that's what I
Finals.
said. So now I'll wait to see what they do in the finals, and if they win, you get the title shot. Title shot. You get the fucking finals champions shirt. And if they lose, you go buy the Eastern Conference one.
What is it? It's June. If the Knicks lose this series by August, I'll be on to what they do last year. They gotta win.
You're crazy, bro.
We'll
it's been 20 fucking 7 years.
We'll get to the Knicks in a minute.
How much time you got?
So, but next thing you know, we find I got the standard Knick hat, but me and my sister were trying different hats on, and then I see there's a shirt on sale, and it said, I was like, oh my god, a little bit less, $5 less. Carl Towns. And I said, I got to get it. She goes, you hate Carl Towns. I was like, I do. I think he stinks. I said, but we desperately need him. He's the only guy that can maybe get Wemby on his way. So we got my nephew on FaceTime. He's like, oh, but Jim, you got to get it. You can't stand Carl Towns. I was like, all right, I get it. But first of all, and I'm going to bring this, let's eliminate Stella from this conversation briefly.
All right.
There in Dick's Sporting Goods, there's some of the most ugliest, unwearable Knick apparel that I have ever seen in my life. I want to contact the
who in regards to like what kind of apparel?
Ugly hats, shirts.
Are they anything but the Knicks colors?
No, they're different. They're lime green.
Jesus Christ! I'm not that stupid.
I wish I could. I want to do a whole show from Dick's Sporting Goods, and the CEO I think lives across the street from my brother in Seagirt. I would love to do a rip on him.
Seagirt. And the lady was trying to figure out where the hell he lived. I was like, I have no idea.
And the lady working in the room, like she was not thrilled with me at all because I was like, who? I looked at her and said, and they had Carhartt. They had not
Carhartt
beige. It was Carhartt, whatever the fuck it's called. They had one that was like brown, not even beige. It was like brown. I looked at it later. I go, who? I noticed that rack is filled all the way. I said, who buys that? She goes, oh, they're one of our hot sellers. That's why
my brother would get in on the Carhartt.
Oh my
stuff.
God, this is the Knicks colors. Anyway, I almost lost my mind. And so we get out of there. But then at the checkout line, my sister was like, the hats were $35. She bought one, I got one. And she's like, I would never spend this much money on hats. Like, Mary, come on, you're going away. Just get out of here. I'm tired. I want to go back home. The lady at the register did not realize she was running into a primetime Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. She says to her, and I had to walk away. She goes, any interest in our Dick's Sporting Goods card? Dude,
I've been collecting points my entire life, and I've gotten like $5 off, and it's like, that's the worst. Dick's Sporting Goods is the worst ever when it comes to like rewards.
Right. My sister though, she thought, look at this little short little girl. My sister's like, well, what do you get? How much do I get on this purchase? How much? The lady went. I heard the lady just go. The lady just went. I don't know, lady. They make me ask you if you want. Like, she just totally like.
Lady, just take a fucking pamphlet and get the hell out of here, please.
My sister just did a sky jam off this lady.
Oh man.
So we get out of there and we get back.
My best is when I have the one I do have is lids, right? Because I get a lot of hats, so like I'm always usually like a premier or whatever member. But the best part is every time I seem to go get a new hat, they're like, "Oh, sir, your card expired." I'm like, I just renewed. How is that right? And they're like, "All right, well, if you pay $20 now for the year, you get 20% off." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not getting 20% off." Am I an asshole? Like, what am I doing here? So I never understood these.
Your hats are 50% more than what I can get them on Amazon if I wanted to.
Right.
But here's the fucked up thing, which I didn't talk about. On Wednesday, I had scheduled at 1:00 for that actor Jamie McShane to come do a self tape with me.
Sure.
He's way up the food chain for me. He's better than me. If you look him up, he was in that show Task. He's an awesome actor. I met him at the wardrobe fitting, and he's from 2 towns away. But I woke up Wednesday and I'm like, how can I greet this man in my home? And I'm shitting myself while, so I had to call up my manager, Denise Hardigan. Denise, I love you. It was a shitty situation. A river runs through
I'm
there.
here all day, folks.
So I call up my manager. I was like, hey, Denise, listen, do you do self-tapes with your kids and everything, right, over the years? She goes, yeah, I can do it. I was like, yeah. I got to redirect this guy to your house, which is even closer to where he was coming from anyway. So she had to come to my house and pick up the lights, my audio equipment. And as soon as she walked in, she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, just," and I'm trying to explain to her, like, hook this up here. Like that. And finally, she
Oh,
goes, "Jimmy, just give me the lights. I'll figure it out."
I
But he
was gonna
went
say it's
there.
not rocket science.
And with all due respect, well, the audio thing is a little
Oh, all
complicated.
right,
But
yeah.
all due respect, the guy Jamie felt he was actually concerned. Hey, is Jimmy okay? He didn't sound right on the phone. Like, I didn't want to tell the guy I don't know. Hey, I'm so sorry. I don't want to shit on your fucking audition.
Mm.
But she did it. He was great, and so I was happy about that. But anyway, so that was my week. And I got to give a huge shout out to my sister Marilyn, though. She was here for 2.5 days. She
Clutch.
cleaned, she organized, she went through cabinets. Jimmy, this is old. What do you need this? I was at the point where I was like, Mare, I would normally fight you on some of these things you're throwing out,
I don't
but
got the strength.
I was like, we're 8 games out with 10 to play.
Yeah.
You make the line of. I felt like Bob Lemon in '78. Fine, I'm
Yeah.
out. What do you want to do? Anyway, so a big shout out to my sister and my brother who was checking in, and Stephanie, and of course my mother was a nervous wreck. So that's it. But of course, my family, turns out San Antonio is only an hour away from where my nephew Eric and my great grandniece, or grandniece as you call it, Emery June, live in Austin. And he went online right away, and my entire family's going to game 2, Knicks San Antonio in San Antonio. And who's not going to the game? Your friend and mine, shitting on himself. They weren't
Well,
sure
you would
about
have to fly out. Like, you're not going to fly out there for the game. You got the game 10 minutes from your house. Go to the Garden.
That's what tickets were $1,500 at San Antonio and $7,000 at the Garden.
Yeah, that's to get in the building. But I mean, shit.
But I really like, and then I thought it was just like 2 of them going. They're like, "Oh, me, Madison, Bobby, Eric." I'm like, "Oh, this is great." Like, I'm not the king of the Knick fans here in the house, and I'm sitting on. My brother was like, my brother summed it up by going, "Jimmy, listen, we didn't know what to do. You're in bed wearing Depends. We had to make a decision." It's like, oh my God,
you're shitting the bed worse than Towns did in Game 6. I will say, there's only, with all the shitting all over yourself, you probably had a couple times where your windows may have gotten affected. So everybody go to Beeman's Window Cleaning Services, ladies and gentlemen, because if this guy, he's just a gem of a person, works with my brother. He's so cool. And I got to put him over because I believe he is also checking out the Knicks Game 3 from the Garden and may or may not have a suite. I don't know. But if he does, and he would love to be generous, there's a Knicks fan in Dunellen who would love nothing more than to be in that suite.
Yes.
So anyway,
for this entire series, Beeman's is another sponsor of the Jimmy Palumbo Show, Miles Media, Stella Studios, Dave Sturgeon.
You had to hear me yesterday. I recorded 7 commercials, and I'm like, and by the way, shout out again, ChatGPT. All you got to do is like, yo, give me a 30-second read that I can read a script about this, about everything that's about blah, blah, blah. Boom, they spit it out. And I'm like, God damn, that's so much easier than me trying to come up with like, what do I say, blah, blah, blah. Shout out to the fucking technology.
Yeah, but you know what? If you go on ChatGPT and say, spit me out a read the way Jimmy Palumbo does absolute eyewear, and they like, no, it just says, I'm so sorry, we cannot do that.
Yeah, well, this violates all of our content privacy issues. It's like, ooh, okay.
I am ChatGPT proof when it comes to reading ads. But yeah, that's cool. I hope you can get to the game. And if there's an extra ticket, I'd come off the bench for a quick 3. Listen, Knicks Spurs. This is awesome. I'm excited.
We go.
I think the Spurs are good. They're a little bit better. They're younger. They're faster. I think Wembyana, again, you're hearing this word generational talent. I said, but I think that Spurs also get sloppy. I watched a bunch of their games in the playoffs, and because of Harper, and I think they can get sloppy at points. And I think that, and I'm not so sure. Like the Knicks have played really 2, 3 not great teams in a row,
and they played out of their minds too.
Out of their minds. So the axe has got to fall eventually. But I think the Knicks though are they play well as a team. It's very interesting. And to me, Game 1 is critical. If they could just snatch game. To me, if they snatch Game 1, I think they'll be in the series for the long haul. If they lose Game 1, to me, like Game 2 is a must win. But I do know this, and I watched the game the other night, and I know Harper had a huge three and a huge putback. But a minute before that, he had 2 turnovers, and I said, wow, Harper just turned the ball over. And my brain was like, where have I seen that? And I went, oh, I was like, I know where I saw it.
The
rack when he played at Rutgers, because my brother's seats are 2 feet from the court. I saw him fumble the ball. Anyway, so my prediction is this. I still think Harper's had a great rookie year. There's a lot of what I say about Harper's facetious, of course. But I guarantee you he will have a huge turnover in game 1 and a huge lapse on defense, or like McBride gets by him. And the Knicks, I believe, are going to win game 1. And I am predicting the Knickerbockers. We will not be going back to San Antonio for game 7. The Knicks will close it out in game 6 at your Madison Square Garden. Knicks in 6.
Yeah. I see. I'm feeling the Knicks in 6 thing too, right? And I think, like, I don't know if anybody out there is.
Well, this is the only time to be positive.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are like, well, the Spurs are playing with house money. I'm like, you want to talk about house money? Like the Knicks. This was the year they said, like, they were up in the upper echelon of like who should come out of the East, right? And they did. It just felt different the way they dominated teams. And you're like, oh, wow, man, this team is really deep. And then, like, guys coming off the bench, like guys have been traded 17 times before they got here. It just felt like this team was so well put together. And shout out to, GM and everybody that Rose and all those guys. The team they assembled can run with the Spurs. Wembanyama is one of those guys that's just like, yeah, you're right. He's generational talent. But then, like, you got Karl Anthony Towns. You got a guy like Mitchell Robinson. Those are the guys you have to make sure are okay and stay out of foul trouble, because Mitch got one down. He's down one finger, right? And then Towns gets into foul trouble too quick.
Karl Towns has to get Wembanyama in foul trouble. The only thing I'm worried about is, Brunson likes to do some of those spin moves right in the middle there.
Yeah.
And if Wembanyama's there, you really got to toss that ball.
You're going to need to see some significant movement without the ball, right? Yeah. You're going to need to see some guys like McBride and Bridges and guys like that fly around, not with the ball in their hands, without it, right? And you're going to see what they do. I don't predict a lot. I don't predict a lot of point paints at all for the Knicks. I really don't. I think, like, if they're going to shoot well, they got to do it from the perimeter. And Bridges has been really knocking down those 20-footers. You know what I mean? Like, those are the shots that you have to kind of go. Because if you go inside the paint on Wembanyama and all them guys, I just don't feel good about that. Right. So I got the Knicks in 6 as well. But it is so goddamn pivotal that they take one of these games in San Antonio, obviously.
Now, everyone knows I'm not a soccer fan. We all know that. Look at some of the scores. This FIFA World Cup thing.
FIFA.
Do you realize
that's how much a not fan you are?
Do you realize if the Knicks are up 3-2 and it's game 6 at the Garden, do you know the scenario that could happen?
It's not the start of the World Cup, right?
World Cup 3:00 game at Giants at the Meadowlands.
I thought they only have the finals.
No, 8:30 game at the Garden. Do you know New Jersey Transit has to stop the trains for the public to ride on, so they can get the fans? Like they don't have it set up. They can't, like, they said if you're going to the Knick game Wednesday that night, whatever the hell it is, June whatever, you got to get on like the 10:30 a.m. train for the 8:30 game, because they're going to be shutting trains down and the people are going to be stuck at the Meadowlands. This World Cup thing, first of all, United States men's, we suck in soccer. I don't think we would have qualified if we're not.
It's automatic.
It's automatic. We stink. It's all this. There's no parking lot. How could you have an event?
There's no parking lot. The fucking Giant Stadium. What are you talking about?
You can't park there.
There's no parking?
Yeah, it's all the FIFA shit. Nike, the balls, Voight, Indestructo. That's funny for my cousin John. They used to be.
Wait.
Yeah.
So they're changing the entire landscape of MetLife Stadium.
Listen, you got to park in Cherry Hill and walk. It's all fucked up. They're screwing with you don't screw with the transit system where some poor slob's got to go to his job. Maybe has a nighttime job at AT&T.
If you want to put the World Cup in the United States, go to fucking Nebraska or some shit where there's nobody there.
It's got to be.
Nobody there, but just
it's got to be. It's got to be in Dallas.
It's in Dallas.
The whole thing should be there. It's got to be in like Arlington, Texas, where there's roads. And
and I swear to God, if they install blinds for the World Cup, I'll Jerry, you're on my fucking hit list because boy, we've been asking for blinds in that stadium for 4:00 games for fucking 10 years. It's like, come on,
of course, when we went to Burlington and Marshalls, all they have is these awful, ugly world. I don't care if it's the world sport. You know what? We're the United States. Okay. I will watch the Americans, and I will.
Of course, I'm going to watch the games. It's going to be on. It'll be interesting.
I'm watching France versus Paraguay.
I mean, I'm not going to make it a point to do that. Like, I got to stop everything. Fucking France is on. Like, no,
you will not.
If U.S. is playing, I'll watch.
Yeah, you'll watch that. You're not watching.
Yeah, no, I'm not watching the other shit. No.
Oh my God.
I watch the Cosmos because I produce a show.
It's just, the whole thing is stupid. There's other places in the country for this. It's not what we do here.
It's just,
and I guarantee
if New Jersey, New York wasn't so goddamn oversaturated, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But the traffic alone on a Wednesday when there's no sporting events is brutal. So this is why it needs to just go away.
We had the Super Bowl here, and no problems with trans. Everybody got in and out. Well, you have the World Cup. Whoa, can't park in the parking lot.
Well, because the Super Bowl caters to the, first of all, the corporate, and then secondly, the football fan. Right. This is the world sport. So then you're gonna have every single country represented in New Jersey, as if it's not already. But
I know. Listen, the whole thing stinks. I know. I'll probably take a beating for this, especially when you put something on TikTok. And I don't care.
No.
First of all, poorly planned. And these things, by the way, weren't planned January 8th. These things were just and don't blame, it's not politics. There was probably 4 governors ago that started to pitch this idea.
Yeah, fucking Christie was probably having conversations like,
we'll do it. And by the way,
sure, we can sure as hell host the World Cup. Like, no, 2 different things, dude.
The 3 biggest companies in the world are Google, the NFL, and FIFA. Okay?
FIFA.
By the way,
for the love of God,
I say FIFA. No, I'm saying FIFA. I'm saying it wrong because I want to say it wrong. The FIFA. Do you know that FIFA takes every dime? Do you know that?
Well, there's no revenue sharing?
0. Yeah, and they also take, I heard they take some of the transit money. Like, they're like, oh, no. Listen, everything comes to our checkbook. And then, we'll make sure that they take everything. That's why you should teach your kid how to play soccer, because every player is probably making millions.
That's the last sport I would tell my kid to go play.
I
know all my other friends' kids who
if your
soccer,
kid plays soccer,
like,
I'll go and I'll boo him. I'll boo him in Denali.
Can you imagine? Hey, Jimmy's coming to watch your game. Why is he wearing a Miles Stinks shirt?
Yeah, Miles, you suck. You pussy ass soccer bopper.
You foot fairy.
And Stella's better than you anyway. She sucks too. Anyway, I've seen your son play soccer. She sucks.
Perfect.
No, I wouldn't mind the World Cup here if it was like, oh, Jimmy, they're playing over at the Meadowlands, like a normal, the Mets are playing the Yankees over at Shea.
Listen, it also might be a lot of fluff, meaning like they're like over, like, oh shit, we are so screwed, and then it's going to turn out to be okay. You know what I mean?
I was told a lot of the games aren't sold out. You know why? Can't go, can't get there.
Can't get there. Who wants to go to a soccer game? You can't get there.
I was going to go by drone.
My buddy, actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, my buddy Linwood from Virginia is driving all the way up for a game in the World Cup.
Is he leaving now to get there by game 6? I was going to
say, you better leave fucking right now to get here. It's going to be a mess. I mean, treat it like 2020, everybody. Stay in your homes. Don't leave the house. It's brutal out there. Just don't do it.
So we'll talk about the Yankees. This Giancarlo Stanton thing is starting to annoy me now because, he's half cleared to start running. But listen, we got to make a pact. Supposedly, he's going to do a couple of rehab starts.
If he goes to Somerset, I'll go.
We got to go.
Oh, of course.
Supposedly, it's going to be at Somerset. I hope it's not.
Like when Garrett Cole was pitching, I really wanted to go, and I missed out on it. But if it's Somerset, the place is going to sell out.
A buddy of mine said when you go to Somerset for these rehab starts, the players you don't see them. They're very accessible. Probably the most accessible you're ever going to get. Like they signed some autograph. I was told now whether Stanton's, not doing that, but if he hits a bomb at Somerset, I'll shit myself.
I think you've done enough.
I can't use that shitting myself joke ever again.
Yeah, you can't.
But what's with the Yankees? Can he run rehab?
My least favorite phrase in baseball when somebody's rehabbing is when they're like, he can resume baseball activity. The fuck does that mean, dude? Can he throw? Can he hit? That's enough. Like, oh, he's jogging briskly over in Somerset. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Get him on the fucking field. He doesn't even play the field. What are we doing here?
You know the history when Stanton comes back from an injury, all you hear is like,
yeah, oil can.
He's like the Tin Man.
Yeah. That was down the line. It looks like an easy double, but wait, Stanton's just going to chill there at first base because he just can't.
Then the announcers are like, strike 3, Stanton. Well, Stanton, of course, seems just a little off. He missed that by 6 pitches.
And then I can't wait till he does make contact. And then Boone in his post-game presser was like, he had good wood on it. The exit velo was good. I mean, he grounded it right to the second baseman, but he really got the barrel of the bat on it. It's like nobody gives a shit that it hit the hole or not. Like,
of course, my brother made me laugh. He goes, Jimmy, we need him for 4 weeks in October. So
that's truly it.
We're probably going to make the playoffs, and he's got to hit when it counts. Anyway, I still think, I don't know, Wells is at 178, Grisham's at 207. The backup, is this the worst catching combination in the history of Major League Baseball?
So it's funny. I had a conversation with my buddy who, he's the one who's like responsible for me being a Yankee fan. I said, not for nothing, but we were spoiled growing up, not just with the championships, but the fact that we grew up with like a Mike Stanley, and then I went to Girardi and Posada and fucking, and we had like a nice lineage of catchers all the way until he was done.
Yes, your whole life.
And then I was like, dude, you want to know the catchers after that? And we went through the fucking list. I said, holy shit, we had Pudge for a year, right on the back end of his career. We had Brian McCann, and we thought, oh shit, he's the second coming of fucking whoever. But it's like, yeah, the catching on this team, Francisco Cervelli, like you can go on and on about the guys who were like, this is remember Benny Biceps, right? Benny Rovitz, he's going to be the fucking next power hitter. They all suck. And like when Wells comes up and he has a performance in the World Baseball Classic, I'm like, ooh, all right, you know what? Wells is start the stroke. None of these fuckers can hit. It's insane.
The Yankees catchers are batting Wells at 178. Ascara is much better. He's at 187. You know what I want to know?
Murder, death, kill.
I've said this on the show, and I'll still say it. What if Miles was the AAA catcher right now? You would be like, how bad would you be?
How bad could it get?
You would be like on Instagram writing letters.
I'd be, going, Miles' dad ruined his shot again. Like,
you know what? You know what I would do? I would like go to Yankee Stadium and somehow get close to that dugout and go, Boone, I guarantee it's better than 187. Deal? If you give him
deal,
2 weeks,
right?
If he's batting below 187,
right.
Trade him. We'll go to St. Louis
just for a fucking player to be named later.
What if you're the backup catcher at AAA? You're like, hey, there's a clear shot here. Like what?
Well, I mean, yeah, if you want it, that's probably like the mindset of a lot of these Yankees in the lower leagues, where it's like, hey, not for nothing, we could probably get a call up sooner rather than later because that position is just not living up to the billing.
Well, another issue is, of course, thank God I don't have, after last week, shitty carpets.
Yeah, that's very surprising, actually.
But I think some of the Yankee catchers the last few years have shitty carpets. And if they do, Aaron Boone, you should call up Oxy Magic USA, OXY Magic USA. That's right. My God, I look like Burl Ives.
It's funny. This is the exact outfit that your sister wore when she also came into your apartment, a hazmat suit.
I know that was it. So go to OXY Magic USA, the best carpet cleaners around. And I don't know if you have the clip ready, but
drying time. Oh shit, sorry about that. I was gonna say hello to Brian, but I was gonna see him on the Jersey Shore. But if I don't,
I'm Brian from Moxie Magic, and I'm cleaning your filthy carpets.
Thank you, Brian.
Drying time anywhere from 45 minutes to 7 hours.
We're in that range.
Anywhere in that range. All you got to do is put socks on, walk across it. It's still works.
If you hear, not yet.
So anyway, Oxy Magic USA. God bless.
So just give you an update. If anybody watches this show and doesn't follow Jimmy on social media, shame on you. But we've been doing this Memory Lane Monday for the last, 6 weeks, right? And we're just putting out all his really cool, clips that he's sent me. And, Spin City was one. And then obviously the Friends one. And it just seems to me, and this is remember, I make the captions too. I write them, right? So it's like, it just seems to me that this clip has always done well for Mr. Palumbo, because we are now at 98,000 views on Instagram. Nice. And it's the diner scene from Beer League, and it has 5,000 likes. I can't even imagine. This is when you're looking up, your For You page and some model comes up. You're like, oh, I'll follow her. And then you look and you're like, nah, she's got 1 billion followers and 80 trillion likes. You're never going to get her attention. 5,000 likes. I was like, holy shit. So it is beyond taking off. So shout out to your new 150 plus followers just based on the clip.
Now we're getting involved. And I actually, I didn't do it today. I actually got involved with comments.
Bro, and you're making people's worlds, by the way. Someone will be like, holy shit, he fucking responded.
I know.
It's like, babe, look at that.
I'll do that later on today when I'm going to really.
When you're on the bowl again.
So far. It's been great. That clip is always. Remember, one guy wrote, though, this is where people are funny. Somebody said, best diner scene ever. And then when I went, no, not as good as Goodfellas. You see what I wrote? I said, wait a minute. The matchup beer league versus Goodfellas, that's a tough one. I was like,
that's a 116.
But you see what I wrote? I wrote some of those Sandler movies and Spade movies. I like beer league in the first round. I think beer league's going to win that game. Yeah. But that clip, I really think that's I'm not being, I guess I am being biased. I was in the damn thing. But I really think that scene, when you really watch it, is one of the, it's a really funny comic scene. And then
it's not like over the top, like harsh. It's just but
then Mary Birdsong comes in with.
So this is the best part about this whole thing. And I literally paid no mind. Now, mind you, I cut up these clips on a Friday. I schedule them all out. I don't pay any mind to any dates or anything like that. I just know every Monday they got to go out. So I'm sitting there listening to this basically calling Maz as gay as possible because of his order. And I'm like, oh man, a lot of response here. And then I see a comment, Happy Pride Month. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I posted an anti-gay thing on Pride Month. But of course, again, different times. That was 2006. So you were allowed to do certain things and say certain things without hearing it. But then if you watch the roast of Kevin Hart, trust me, a lot of things are making a comeback. But when I put that out there, I'm like,
if anybody gets insulted by beer league but loves the Kevin Hart roast, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you're in the wrong space. Yeah. But when I realized, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, this is why it's taking off. But then I look back and I'm like, no, this one took off last time it was posted. Big time. You know what I mean? So I was like, this is just one of those scenes that people are just really, really get a kick out of. And I think the best part is when people are like, oh, now I remember this movie. Now they're going back and they're watching the movie over again. And that's the kind of shit you want to see and hear.
No doubt. Plus, I'm hoping that leads to Beer League Last Lick promo as well. Yeah, that's always been a fun thing for me. Now, I don't know how to, the softball season started last night. Of course, I'm on Giancarlo Stanton. I couldn't make it. Team Pink did lose. They didn't have a clubhouse guy there. But now we shot something over Memorial Day weekend before I shit myself for a week. Now we're not going to do it now, right?
It's a 7-minute video, so it's like, it's too long.
Now I don't know. It's going to be available on my YouTube channel.
It'll be available on your YouTube. I will cut it and post and attempt to post it on Instagram, which I looked up. Instagram, you can actually put up like a 3-hour video if you wanted to. But again, it's a matter of how much, like if it's over 3 minutes, they're like, we don't want anything to do with you. So you're going to have like a lot of organic people say like, oh shit. Like you got to tell your friends, hey, go repost this, retweet this, whatever the fuck. Cause then it'll hit everybody else's shit.
Okay. We'll do that.
Yeah.
But you're going to send me that link that I can put on Facebook and I could text it out and I could do all that.
Once it's up on your YouTube. Cause right now it's hidden on mine and I don't want, it's not my scene. It's not my shit. So like it's got yours. Even though I can make money on it, but no, but
well, that's another question. You got to help. Listen, you have my logins. I got some kind of Facebook earning thing.
So did everybody under the sun.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did?
Something going on.
No, not that one. I actually went. I went and I clicked on.
You can monetize. You can monetize on Facebook.
I have $3.29.
Ooh, send it over.
Okay, but what? But you have to look at that. I don't.
It's probably Google, some Google bullshit. But anyway,
but it's on. I don't.
Oh, it's Meta then, so whatever. I mean,
whatever.
I'm sure Zucks is gonna tax it or whatever the fuck he does.
So now you're gonna post that on the YouTube.
For now, I'm going to download it, make sure it's the same quality as the one at my studio. I'm back in my studio tomorrow, but like today, if I download it from YouTube, I don't think it loses any resolution.
And there was that one word Mawa. You're gonna leave. How you gonna?
I think it's funnier if we leave it.
Okay. So check this thing out. It's about 7 minutes.
It is basically the NFL draft. Everything you see in the NFL draft, turn it into softball and make fun of it. And I think it's hilarious. And by the way, I did give a extra viewing to. Oh, by the way, I don't know how many fucking people you sent it to because it said it had like 60 views already.
Yeah, I sent it to my family.
Mm-hmm. Are we getting good feedback at least? Or
oh, for sure. Everybody loves it. I haven't had not one negative. Except my one buddy in the Mawa softball league wrote, "You spelled Mawa wrong." And I said, "You know what? No, he's but he's in the business." I said, "Nah, you know what, man? We didn't really want to throw Mawa under the bus exactly because you never know. You get some town cease and desist and shit like that."
I was going to say Tyson Hogan got early access, and so did Daryl Clark. So yes, I sent them. I sent them.
Oh, okay, I might have sent
Johnny Box. I should probably send it to you too. So my bad.
Yeah, I'll try to get it. Yeah, let's get it to all the boys.
It's very funny. We had a great time with it. I personally had a great time with it. I thought it was.
No, you did a great job.
It was a lot of fun.
My sister said, "Oh, it was really edited well." I was not sure how you can splice it together, and I got lucky. Well, first of all, you did a great job editing, but how lucky did I get that I shot it perfectly so you could even edit it? If I didn't do that right. Like, you gotta remember, we were down the shore with my family. Like, right. It wasn't like I had.
No, everything was good. Everything was.
Rule number 81, try to do something creative at a family weekend down the shore. Okay, I've been in showbiz 35 years.
I can't even get my dad or anybody to watch a video when there's kids running around. I was like, oh, I guess nobody wants to watch this shit. You know,
my brother was like, what are we doing now? Like, I was
your brother, hell of an actor too.
And my brother was brilliant in it.
Yeah, he was really good.
My cousin John,
he's the scouting department.
My cousin John's in the video. Because he came down and changed his shirt. And he was like, he comes down the steps. We're in the basement of my brother's house. He's like, I go, John. He goes, oh, what the hell's going on here? I'm like, he puts his shirt back down and he stepped right in.
You know what? Now I'm a little, I was already jealous about the fact that like your brother's got a nice house that's down there. And you just said that was his basement.
Oh, dude.
Fuck, man. I haven't gotten invited to one cookout yet, by the way.
I'll
one.
I'll get you down there.
For the love of God, let me get down there at least once this summer.
4th of July weekend. If you're willing to just come down for a day trip with the kids, with Natalie in the pool, I'll see if I can work that out.
Yeah.
My brother's television in the basement is wider than your house.
I said, if that's a basement, that's not fair.
During the Knicks game, we watched it in the basement because we usually watch it outside in the cabana. In the basement, I actually think I got my hand on an inbounds pass from watching the game on there.
Well, Steph was watching it and she sees the part with Madison, and she's looking. She doesn't even. It's almost as if she doesn't give a shit about you or Madison. She goes, "Where does he live? Look at the houses behind him."
I know. By the way, the house in the background, that's the CEO of Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah, well, there you go. Hello.
If anybody makes a comment on
don't say that. Yeah, I was gonna say now you're gonna go attack him because he's got lime green Knicks shirts. For sale.
In other, I know we don't got much time. I'll wrap this up quick. In other interesting news, my daughter is going to 2 proms in the next 9 days. Now, I mean, to all the dads out there, I know Anthony Grasso's got 14 kids in a shoe. My daughter's going to a prom with a kid I don't know well enough, right? That's on Thursday, and then on Tuesday. Natalie's mother's having like a little champagne and the little pickings and the photographs in the front lawn. And I'm like my daughter's going to a prom. What the and then they're going down the shore. And I'm like, and I start thinking back, I remember I love it. Dude, and it's, you know what it is? You can't stop a waterfall, man. But it's like,
yeah, bro.
You're going to be,
shit.
You will be, first of all, I'm a little bit like, time out, like we don't have any timeouts. But you will be. I mean, I know you almost got in trouble in the first Little League game, and you were sitting in the stands.
Yeah, I don't predict it going very well for Stella. I just don't. It was funny because I literally told her before. I said, "Hey, it's nice out." She actually stayed home from school today. She wasn't feeling all that great. Like she's fine, no fever or anything like that. But she was pulling it. She was definitely doing that. I'm sick, and I was like, you know what? I'm not arguing with you today. It's almost the end of the year. You want to stay home? Stay home. You're watching.
She probably only has 2 days out anyway.
Oh yeah, but then I said I was like, hey, it's really nice out. my friend Olivia is going to be playing a semifinals for the Woodbridge Barons today at 4:00 in Watchung. And I'm like, well, I was like, that's 15 minutes away. So I was like, maybe I'll take the kids to go watch a high school softball game today at like 4:00 if I have the time. But yeah, like, and she goes, will she? She's so adorable. She goes, will she like be like one of my new friends? And I was like,
it's so
she's
cute.
16, 17. Shit. She goes, well, that's only 10 years away. And I was like, well, can you stop? I don't want to hear the fact that you're even more than 6 and you're turning 7 in a month.
Your daughter's going through a phase where anybody she meets, Natalie did this. Anybody she meets a couple years older, even if you meet them at ShopRite while you're buying salmon, and then Natalie be like, well, can we have a play there? Can I hang out?
You don't understand.
No, I don't know who they are.
You don't understand. Like, I'm getting stories now that she's like, oh, I really like somebody by her first name. And then I'm like, oh yeah, who's that? And it turns out she's the lunch lady.
I know.
And like, I'm like, what? And then she's like, oh, and I like Mr. Johnson. I'm like, oh, is he one of your teachers? No, he's the cop that stands outside. And I'm like, how many people do you talk to? Like this has to stop because, way back in my day, yeah, you could talk to anybody in the world, didn't matter. But now, now you got to be careful.
I know. It's so funny.
She's unreal.
So I'm nervous about, I hope she has a great time. I know she's going to look beautiful in her dress. I'm not going to tell you the date's name. And then Tuesday's her prom. And
Matt, if anything happens, I got a 33 and a shovel.
Dave, Destruction Day here at the stadium. Yeah,
your dad might not be able to take him down, but guess what?
Listen, if things don't go the way I want them to, we're shooting a promo with Dave Destruction on your skull.
How'd you get it to look so realistic? Well, let me tell you. Yeah, it took care of business.
I'm going to another film event in the city on Thursday if I can come off the DL Thursday night. And that's it. Listen, this show is longer, but we needed it to be. Please, everyone, check social media, Dave, when he's done.
Yeah, I'll get it up there very soon.
I think it works, even if you're not a fan of the show. I think it works on its own.
I think it's one of those things where you watch a lot of these things online. It's like, oh, it's making a mockery of that. That's hilarious. This is exactly what you want it to be. It's got all the flavors of a sports thing that you would watch. Like, even the women who have to be like, wait a minute, you sit there and watch a draft for fucking 4 hours. Like, what? Like, now you're gonna know exactly what it all feels like as a family. I think it was well done. I think it was very, very cool. I think
and it came together. We got lucky how it came together, and you did a great job of editing it. So that's it.
All right.
Next
remember,
show,
now I'm going to say this now.
Tuesday.
I'm going to say this now. Just like last time I said this. The next time we record, there's a shot that the Knicks could be up 3-0. Game one's Wednesday, Friday, Monday. Yeah, so they could be up 3-0, looking to wrap up their first championship for the first time since 1973. So the last time I said that, we did exactly that. So let's just do it.
You know what? We may, because of my daughter's prom, we may move the show, but maybe we'll move it where it's after a game. So
yeah, that makes sense. We'll figure it out.
Instead of doing it the next day, maybe we do it on Thursday if the game's Wednesday.
Yeah. I'll look in the schedule and stuff. I know there's a lot of things.
I don't think we're going to be able to do 1:00 next Tuesday. We could do it Monday, which will be following Sunday's game. We have to look at the schedule.
What's today's date? This is the 2nd. All right, 3rd, 4th. Okay, so by the way, early. She doesn't watch the show, but happy anniversary to my wife. 10 years coming up on the 4th. So
that's Thursday.
Yeah.
You got any special plans at Shay?
We booked a nice little getaway at the end of the month. It just lands on her birthday too, so a double whammy on the 18th. A nice little Airbnb and all that shit. So yeah, it's time to unplug a little bit.
There you go.
Gotta do it.
Of course, you purposely moved it past the NBA Finals. I know you did. You piece of shit.
Jimmy. Don't you know me by now, bro? Don't you know me by now, man?
I can't.
Because if there was a game 7 on the night we're supposed to leave, I'm like, shit, I guess we gotta fucking wait.
I am gonna be
happy anniversary.
As you kids get older, I'm like, Miles, play lacrosse. No, play soccer too. I want both of your kids to be 3 sport varsity players. So you go like, this is what you're gonna hear. Jimmy, I haven't watched an NFL game in 3 years. We're going up here.
I've already been at. Listen, life is life. Life is life for the last couple of months. But I will say, getting my passion and my blood flowing for sports again, my teams, has been the thing I needed the most. So
let me show you
taking that shit away from me.
Let me show you Dave Sturcio 8 years from now. Great job, Miles. You got to catch that. Stella, great dance, Stella. Great dance.
But my problem is I'll actually like project too much, right? If I'm watching the Yankees in a game and Miles is also playing baseball and there's a simultaneous play, like, how the fuck do you strike out there? And the kid's like, what?
So good. Anyway,
all right.
That's our show.
Good night, everybody. Subscribe and all that shit. Like the videos and
subscribe, like the videos, and we are at Shea.
Bye-bye.